whatever you choose to focus on, it is going to grow.
Yeah.
So it's like, choose wisely, kids.
Choose wisely.
Okay.
Seriously, don't worry about the dog.
You sit there.
I promise you, if I had a problem with her being on the couch, I would tell you.
Okay.
I do not.
All right.
My big 150-pound Mastiff gets on there and sheds everywhere. And we just have a lint roller right there in that drawer. And we just shush.
Okay. Well, then she looks like she's super comfy. She says
velvet goes really well with her fur. It's so fabulous. She's the cutest thing.
I mean, too much, right? Yeah. Maggie is the light of my life. Honestly, she's my best friend. She goes everywhere with me. We're almost never travel. We're almost never apart from one another. So she really is. You are the light of my life. You really are the light of my life.
I think if I ever got divorced or if Bert, something bad happened and we were no longer together, I would probably have a dog like that I went everywhere with. I was never a dog person. I was always a cat person until we got Mona. And Mona was about 12-pound. Terrier mix. She had Yorkie in her.
Yeah.
She had 5 different dog breeds in her. But one of them was Yorkie. And one of them was one of them was a terrier. But she looks so much like Maggie.
She really
she
does.
Went everywhere with me for a while. I loved her so much. Yes. And then when we got the big dogs, she stayed home with the big dogs. But if I would have a little dog like that. I can't sleep with a big dog.
I had big dogs growing up. I had St. Bernards. I had a Great Dane. Big dogs growing up my whole life. And then when I got out on my own, little dogs just made more sense to me because I was always on the move.
Turn the volume off. Sorry.
No, do your thing.
Yeah, always on the move.
Always on the move. And, she had a best friend, Mr. Pickles, that they were together for 9 years and they were the best. And he was a light. But, for the last, since, I had to put him down in 2022 because he was sick. But since then, it's just been her and I. And it's very interesting how our relationship really evolved even since Mr. Pickles passed away. We've gotten so much closer. Mr. Pickles he was special needs, so he needed a lot of my attention. And I didn't really realize I wasn't paying enough attention to her until Mr. Pickles was gone. And then I realized how she's kind of just been supporting Mr. Pickles during his, trials and tribulations with his illness, his legs. He had to wear braces and everything. And then when Mr. Pickles was gone, we've really just become so close.
So when you say Pickles, her little ears perk up.
Oh, she knows who Mr. Pickles is, don't you? You sure do. That was your best friend.
She's so cute.
I mean, the light of my life.
She's
really.
So cute. Yeah, we got a new dog on Saturday. We adopted a 3-year-old dog.
Okay.
Because I have a 6-year-old Mastiff and I had a 5-year-old Mastiff, and the 5-year-old contracted a weird cancer. He had a tumor inside his knee joint. So we didn't know what was going on. He was limping, but the 2 dogs played so hard. I was like, well, he just tweaked his knee. And about 10 days later, I was like, well, let me take him and get him checked out. And they really couldn't figure out what was going on with his knee. Went to an orthopedist, went here, went there. And then finally they did, I don't know, an MRI or something. And they were like, there's a tumor in his knee joint. So let's see if it's gone anywhere else. And by the time we found it, it was in his lymph nodes. So we did radiation and they were really hopeful. And then they were not. And then they were like, well, he's got to go through chemo. And so he was doing chemo while we were in Atlanta shooting the show and thought he was doing okay. And then just took a sharp left turn. And we actually were on family vacation and he had started coughing right before I had to leave. And, but he was still playing. He was still eating. He was still pooping. He was
doing all the things.
So we were like, he's okay. He's just got a little cough or something, and took him to the vet. And the vet was like, I think he has pneumonia. So let's put him in the hospital for pneumonia. And then they were like, it'll take about 48 hours for the medication to really start working. So go on your vacation. 48 hours from now, we'll know better, if this is working. But don't stay here because it's pneumonia. It's gonna be okay. And then 48 hours came and they were like, okay, he's not worse. And that's good. So we'll just keep him here. The next day he didn't eat. And I was like, uh-oh. I was like, well, let me send a friend over and see if he's just like, why am I in the hospital? I hate being in the hospital. And he ate for that friend. A friend came over and he ate. And they were like, okay, he's missing you guys. He's probably just had a rough run and he's missing you guys. He's fine. The next day, this was like day 5 or so, they were like, you got to put him down. And I was like, excuse me? And they were like, this is cancer. His cancer has spread. Because when they did a chest x-ray, it looked like pneumonia, but it was cancer. So, and I was like, can I come home? And they said, he's not going to make it.
Oh my
He's just
God,
not
that's
gonna make it.
awful.
So we had to FaceTime Peter, went to the vet and
Peter.
was with Mac when we put Mac down. Peter FaceTimed us, and Peter and Mac had a really special bond anyway.
Right.
And so it was I was like, what do we do? And Isla said, just call Peter.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only person I would allow to
be
do
there.
this. Not Bert's sisters, it was
Yeah.
the only choice for Isla was Peter. So, and he's sweet guy, he did it. It had to be horrible for him.
Yeah, that's
Um,
hard. That is hard. Regardless if it's your dog or not, it's hard. That is hard.
It was awful.
And what a terrible way to lose your dog in general, to not be able to be there for your dog is like, I can't even imagine.
No.
I can't even imagine that. So I'm really sorry.
It
I
was
didn't
awful.
understand that was happening while we were in Atlanta. I don't know
was.
why we didn't know.
I just trusted, we have a really great dog sitter.
Yeah.
And I just trusted her to take really good care of him. And she did. She did a really good job. And, I was obviously checked in all the time. And how's the dog doing? I really feel bad that I didn't get to spend the last months with them, but we really were hopeful they would not be the last months.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the way we were functioning. And when it just took that left turn, we were like, oh man, he was kind of like Maggie, where everyone who saw him was like, what dog is that? He weighed 160 pounds.
I've always loved bull mastiffs.
Yeah.
They're like big love chunks,
Yes.
They're just chunks of love.
Yes.
They're great dogs. I mean, I've always wanted one. One of the other reasons why I haven't gotten a big dog, other than my lifestyle, is they don't live as long.
They don't live as long.
And like, I can't endure the pain every 7, 8, 9, 10 years.
Yeah.
Like, it breaks my heart.
It's awful.
It's terrible.
It's awful. Well, I did not want to get another dog. I was like, no. But Izzy is 6. Izzy had cancer also at the same time, but hers was caught, was handled, was chemo, is completely clear. 3 months later, still clear. And we got to go like 2 more times for the 3-month checkup. But her prognosis is really great. So,
I didn't even realize cancer was so prevalent in dogs either.
It is in bull mastiffs.
I did not know that. That is interesting. Wow.
Cancer is really prevalent in bull mastiffs. So, Izzy just stopped eating. Like when Mac died, she was like, yeah, I'm not eating. And let me tell you, lady, I have cooked for her. I have gotten farmer's dog. I have tried just for dogs. I've tried canned food. I've tried kibble. I've tried everything. The only thing I can get her to eat consistency is pizza crust. And a dog just can't live on pizza crust.
Yeah.
And so I've had every test run. We've done ultrasounds on her stomach. There is nothing wrong with her. She is depressed. And so was a pack of 3. She had Mona and Priscilla. She had Mona and Mac. And so they're both gone. And I was like, my whole family keeps going, LeeAnn, she needs another dog. And I'm like, I don't want another dog. I can't do I don't want another dog. And then finally I was like, Mac was a person in a dog suit. Izzy is a dog. She's just a straight up dog.
Yeah.
And so she needs a dog.
I have somebody that I think could help you in a lot of ways, enlighten you as to what exactly is going on there.
Okay.
I do a show.
Yes.
I do, I had a spiritual awakening. I started a podcast, and some of the people that I've gotten involved in the show are animal communicators.
I love that.
And like, so powerful. You're like, what? I actually had Mr. Pickles, because he had braces on his legs. He was struggling. We all knew it was like not for long, but I wasn't sure. And I didn't want to do anything without knowing he was ready.
Yeah.
I felt like he was ready. I feel like I felt like he was, but I ended up contacting an animal communicator. And she did tell me that he said he was ready. She told me a bunch of things that there's just no other way she could know unless she somehow tapped into that animal's energy and got that information. There was just no way she would know.
Right.
So I passed her information along to another friend of mine and who was having trouble with his Chihuahua Piggy. And I mean, she sounds like a piggy. She snorts like a pig.
Oh my gosh.
When he first introduced me to her, I'm like, oh, that's such a cute name. And then she vocalized. I was like, oh, that's why she's Piggy. He's like, yeah, because she sounds like a pig. And I was like, wow. But anyways, completely transform Piggy's entire, looks like a different dog. Her name's Claudia, and she's an animal communicator, and she can tap in. She can tell you what's wrong with your dog. If it's depression, if it's this, if it's that. It's really remarkable. It's almost scary. It's
okay, give me her name.
Yes.
I would love it.
Yes.
I believe in all that stuff.
I mean, it's legit. It's legit.
It is legit.
I have learned, coming up end of February, it'll be 2 years since I started this podcast. And I kind of just started it on a whim. It came to me on a meditation walk. You should do a podcast and you should call it From Atheism to Enlightenment. And I was like, oh, where did that idea come from? That's amazing. Of course, I'll do that. And it's unfolded so magically. I can't even tell you. I started it within the first 4, 5, 6 people I had to get, But after that, LeeAnn, it just started happening for me. People just started asking to be on the show in the most remarkable way. It was like I blew on it and the doors blew up, and now I have over 11,000 YouTube subscribers. I've barely put it out there. I'm not very good at social media, but I think it's because it's a different show. I investigate the nature of reality. I expose people to new and different ideas. I talk about everything from past life regressions. I talk to shamans. I talk to energy healers. I talk to philosophers, Buddhism, transcendental meditation. There really isn't anything that I don't talk about on the show. And it has been like a school for me because I was an atheist my whole life.
Your whole life?
My whole life.
As a child, you were brought up atheist?
Well, I think that I was brought up in a very kind of restrictive church.
Was it Christian based?
It was Christian based.
Okay.
It's Church of Christ.
Okay, I know Church of Christ.
Yeah, it's very southern.
It's very specific.
Yeah, very, very specific. And
we could always tell who was in the Church of Christ by what they wore.
Yeah. And it's very, I wasn't supposed to be dancing. We don't have music in our church. And it's very kind of restrictive. But from the time I got here, I can remember sitting in the pew, 7, 8, whatever, very young, and listening to the preacher and thinking in my own head, this can't be right. This is not right. We're not the only ones going to heaven in the whole world.
Totally.
That's just not a thing. So I knew right away I was getting information that did not make sense to me. I was just that's my inner knowing was nah, it's not true.
Yeah, totally.
My grandmother was very religious, hell, fire, brimstone, Southern Christian.
Where are you from?
I'm from Michigan, but my mother is from Tennessee. She still lives in Tennessee.
Okay, gotcha.
And her family's from Tennessee, so it was very
Southern Baptist.
Very Southern. I grew up every
church.
Summer almost. I was in Tennessee on the hill on the farm.
Right.
So I'm very roots in Southern world culture, stuff like that.
Gotcha.
But I mean, I knew from a very young age that did not align with who I was. And as I got older, I leaned into science. I leaned into not believing any of that. I didn't believe that there was a God. I didn't believe there was a higher power. I didn't believe that. If I couldn't see it, touch it, taste it, smell it, it doesn't exist.
Right.
It doesn't, that's not a thing. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So I got my degree in animal behavior and neurobiology, and I was very staunch into my, science ways. And then you get sick. and then plugging through life, having the time of having the best time, drinking, smoking, partying, working on movies, like the best life ever.
Yeah.
And then you wind up in intensive care, and I had brain problem and all that, and it now that I'm kind of on the other side of it, this was like a decade ago.
Mm-hmm.
I very much look at my illness and what I went through as a gift. It taught me something. As much as people hate trauma, as much as people hate getting their heart broken, as much people hate difficult situations, all of them are here to show us something, to illuminate us to who we are, to what direction we need to go into. It's there for a reason.
That's right. It's carved so that it can be filled.
That's exactly right.
That's it.
So me, obviously, I did not know any of that. I was initially mad at the world for this even happening to me because I was out living the best time and now I couldn't function. So I got meningitis, encephalitis.
What?
Yeah.
How did you get that?
They don't know. That's the thing. And I spent 11 days in intensive care. I almost died. I got out and I could not function the way that I was functioning at all. I didn't have the energy. I was having short-term memory issues. I was having just lots of various symptoms. So it put me on my path to heal myself. I was going to come back 100%. And when you're sick and you're not able to function, and you kind of spend years like this, it was not something that I just recovered from. I've had meningitis probably 4 or 5 times after that.
Have you really?
Yes. So it's like,
and meningitis is an inflammation of the spine?
It's an inflammation of the meninges that surround your brain. And then encephalitis is your brain is swelled. So,
and they have no idea how you contracted that?
Mm-mm. So it's been
that's
kind of an autoimmune kind of thing,
An autoimmune?
Yeah, like all these weird things that are coming up where people can't seem to get over it, like these strange, that doctors are like, but it kind of took me down. It stripped my ego away. It stripped my identity away. It gave me a lot of humility, and it really made me understand that there was a lot I didn't know. So it kind of sent me in the direction of opening my mind to other possibilities. I was going to heal myself. Western medicine was not doing anything for me.
Mm.
What else is there?
Yeah.
So I started getting into like energy healing and started getting into doing like plant medicine. I don't know if you've ever heard of like ayahuasca or any of that. So I started sitting with ayahuasca initially. I found a spiritual community. And like, you have to understand me coming from like atheism and being like a miss-know-it-all, that's shit, that's all bullshit. Like,
yeah.
It was hard for me to kind of, enter a new way of looking at healing because it was so unfamiliar to me. And I just didn't have any belief that it was actually going to help me. But then once you sit with plant medicine, or I was doing something that's called combo, and you start understanding that there's a lot more going on in this energetic body than what you think.
Mm-hmm.
And you start seeing synchronicities, you start having conversations. So anyways, it helped me. Like energy healing helped me. Sitting with ayahuasca helped me. Sitting with combo helped me. And it started allowing me to dance into the direction of spirituality and start opening the door to other things, which is why I started the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And
which opened even more doors. And I don't even know how it unfolded as easily as it does. I firmly believe now that I'm supposed to be doing this. Yeah. That's how it works. That's the path. Exactly. That's how the path works.
Exactly.
If you remain open and you ask for it, it shows up.
Yeah.
Right?
I've had a lot of mediums and psychics and astrologists on as well. And I've had like my Chinese birth chart done and everything. And so many people have said, oh yeah, this is what you're supposed to be doing. You're
Mhm.
supposed to be teaching people. You're
Mhm.
supposed to be teaching people how to love. I had one of the mediums said, you have no idea what's coming up for you. You're going to teach people you're going to teach the world how to love each other. And I was like, what is this lady talking about?
Yeah.
Me? And then number one, I'm like the last person to be teaching that.
That's not true at all.
It's been absolutely, I can't even explain how magical of experience it's been and how lucky that I've been to speak to all of the beautiful people in the spiritual community that have taught me so much. Past life regression.
Mhm.
My whole belief system has changed. I might say some controversial shit on your show, and that may
I don't
not
think so.
I hope you love me tomorrow.
I will. Well, you don't know. I believe in all that stuff too.
Yeah,
I've seen mediums,
what's your story? Like, where are you at in your spiritual journey in life?
Well, my background is very Southern Baptist. Both my parents were Southern Baptists. My mom's family were very, very much churchgoers. My dad's family believed that church was like a doctor. And if you walk the path, you need to go to church. You need to go to church when you are lost. Yeah. And so if you are a person of your word, good to everyone you meet, follow the basic principles of the Bible, why are you going to church?
Yeah.
You're already doing it. So I liked that. But then my parents divorced and my mom got really into transcendental meditation. And I did not have that reaction. That was not the way at 10 years old. My reaction was this. And you can go fuck yourself for making a 10-year-old meditate 3 times a day.
She was making you. You
yeah.
Can't. No, you can't do that.
I had to meditate a lot. And she thought I was hyperactive. And I think knowing myself now, I don't know that I was like ADHD, but I have always had a lot of energy. And so I understand she probably was trying, instead of, I don't know, enrolling me in a sport, she was trying to get me to manage my energy by meditating because it's less work for her. Let's be honest. So, but the good about that is I was exposed to something so different than Christianity.
Yes.
That I then became an adult and went, there's more here than Christianity. At 16, I decided to really I grew up with this Southern Baptist thing. Well, why don't I start going to church and really seeing what it means? And at 16, I decided to read the King James Bible cover to cover because I thought, well, why do you show up at a church not knowing what they're talking about?
Yeah.
I should at least read the book.
Yeah, you're a rare bird, though.
I am a rare bird. But at the time, I didn't really understand that. I just thought, well, why would you go and say amen when you don't even know what the hell they're talking about? So I may as well read the book. And then in reading the book, I was like, hold on. You're telling me a guy built a boat and put every animal on the planet on this boat for 40 days and nobody ate anybody? Nah, that doesn't add up. I don't know. So I fell out of the church and I never became an atheist. I think I became agnostic, where I just was like, there is a higher power. I totally believe in the universe. I totally believe in opening your heart. Yeah. But it's another step along the way. When I was 20, you'll love this story. When I was 20, I went to a Halloween party. And at this Halloween party, there were psychic tents where you could go in and get your, palm read or whatever. I had been suffering from migraines from probably around the time my parents divorced. So from like 7 or 8 years old. And they were unresolved. No, nothing was wrong with me. I had no brain tumor. I just had massive migraines. I mean, I would pull my hair in class. It hurt so bad. Oh. So I walked into this psychic tent and she goes, ooh, you have really bad headaches. And I went, yeah, I do. And she goes, I think I know somebody who can help you with that. And wrote down this guy's name. He's a massage therapist. So I walked into I called him because I was like, I'll do anything to get rid of these damn migraines. So I walk in and he goes, ooh, you have really big issues with your mother. And I went, yes, I do. And he goes, it's all in your neck. He didn't even touch me. I walked in the door and he said that. And he was like, okay, I think I can help you. Gave me the massage. And when also turned out to be a Reiki master, did not know anything about Reiki, had no idea she was sending me to an energy worker. I just thought she was sending me to a massage therapist. And so after the initial massage, he said, I think I can help you, but I have to tell you something. If we start this path, there's no going back. And people are going to fall away from you in your life, and your life's going to change forever for the better, but it's going to suck. It's going to be scary. It's going to be painful, but your migraines will go away. And I went, let's do it. So I saw him 3 days a week for 6 months.
Oh, wow.
I was basically working to pay for my massage therapy. I was still in college, and I committed to it because I believe that God, the universe, however you want to say, speaks to you in ways like, I just went to a Halloween party.
Yeah.
All I did was go to a Halloween party.
Yeah.
There's no way that woman knew I had migraines. And then for her to send me to that guy who said upon sight, wow, you have real issues with your mother. And I was like, this is not a coincidence.
There are no coincidences.
No, that's not. So then I think for whatever reason, at that young age, I understood that that's how the universe talks to you.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're listening, then you can makes choices effortless almost.
Yes.
Because if you're listening, you go, there's no way she sent me to him who said that to me, that I don't need this path.
Yep.
There's no way.
Yep.
No way. So that's how my broader spiritual path started. So with that, the Reiki guy gave me books to read about spirituality, about visualization, about healing your own life, about healing your own illness. Yes. And I started reading all these books, Creative Visualization by Shakti Gawain, How You Can Heal Your Life by Louise Hay. And then I just kind of got voraciously hungry in that arena in my early 20s.
Oh, man. I mean, that's amazing. That's exactly how I felt about my own. I mean, don't get me wrong. I went through dark night of the soul, unbelievable, lost a lot. I had to get beat up to kind of come out the other side. And it's been a journey. But it is the same, a voracious need to learn more. I just wanted to consume, watch everything on Gaia, listen. I've listened to Neville Goddard and Abraham Hicks and all of these spiritual teachers, thinkers. And it is just, and I've learned that there are no such thing as coincidences. And we as humans on the planet, I feel we're so worried about, we're all external and we never go in. That's right. And that's where all the magic is.
It's where everything is.
It's where it all exists.
Yeah.
And we're so distracted by what's out here. We don't even, myself included, we don't even think about going within. You think that's not real. You think the only thing that's real is out here.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's a great book called The Power is Within.
Yeah.
You ever read that book?
I have not.
Great book. I think it's Louise Hay or maybe it's Shakti Gawain. It's one of those people. It's another book that I read that was really important. It was called One Day My Soul Just Opened Up.
Yes.
Oh, what a great book, right? That book knocked my socks off. There's so many exercises in that book that force you to self-evaluate, to really go inside and go, who
are you?
Am I?
Yes.
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 One Day My Soul Just Opened Up. Freaking great book. I love it.
It's exciting. I do think there's so many people out there now that are starting to experience their own kind of awakening. But I also think, and I say this on my show all the time, so many people need to be shaken to awaken. They need to have the life slapped out of them before they stop and start looking within, doing the work, healing your inner child. All of us are coming into this world. We're all having traumatic experiences when we're younger. Mm-hmm. We carry that with us into adulthood. Most of us never even understand how to process that and don't understand that maybe their aches and pains and their feelings of unwell are subconsciously because of the trauma that they have experienced and have not dealt with. And it's in your body making you sick.
Totally. So Isla and I, this relates, but Isla and I are hardcore Bachelor Nation.
Okay.
And I would never have Bachelor Nation were it not for Isla. But Isla is like all about the relationship drama.
Yes.
So the last, she always searches to watch the seasons that has the most drama. She only watches it with me. We started this her junior year in high school when there was just the two of us at home. And so our last season was a bachelorette, and she had a guy on there that was so incredibly toxic. And she kept him around week after week. And some of the other guys kept saying to her, he is manipulating you. He is lying to you. This is not who he appears to be. Yeah. And she kept going, but I see something different. And then at the end, she finally saw who he was. And she picked this, and then, so he left. But she was down to like 3 or 4 guys. And she picked this guy. And Isla and I were going, it's not him. It's the other guy. Why can't you pick the other guy? The other guy is sweet. He's all about you. He's focusing on you. He's adoring you. This guy, something's off. Something's off. She picked that guy. Turned out that guy had a girlfriend the whole season. He was completely lying and proposed to her. And I said to Isla, what is it about a person who continues to make the bad choice, thinking she's making the good choice? But I watched a young lady go through an entire season having the universe saying, this guy's bad. Yeah. And she goes, guess what? I'm going to get him anyway.
Do it anyways.
I'm going to choose it anyway.
Yeah.
And she did it with 2 men in the same season. And I asked that question of someone who knows more than I do. What causes a person to see the signs and choose wrong anyway? Why?
I mean, it's a complicated question because, number one, from what I understand, and this makes me give people much more grace.
Yeah.
I used to be kind of harsh on people. I used to be a little rough, on people. And now I give them much more grace because at the end of the day, we're all interpreting our own environments and seeing things and experiencing things differently. And what I am seeing and looking at and feeling it is not the same thing that you are through your eyes. So it's hard to judge somebody else because, how many times in life can we look at people and say, oh my God,
what are you doing?
Yes, what are you doing? Oh my God, I can't even believe you're thinking that, let alone doing that. Like, what is wrong with you? But you don't know their journey. And from what I understand, from what I've learned on this show is, we all come down here with a sole purpose. And we all come down here needing to expand and grow our consciousness by learning through experience. And a lot of times the greatest growth in your life is going to happen through your most traumatic experiences.
Right.
It's like you almost should embrace them because on the other side of trauma and suffering, there's a lot of love. But it's getting through that to get to the good stuff. But I wouldn't wish it on anyone anyways,
No,
but whatever. But I do think that, it is hard to judge somebody else for making decisions. The other thing that I also keep in mind now is that I very much believe in reincarnation. I know that I've had many lives on this planet. I know that I'm going to come back and learn more lessons on this planet. And
I'm pretty perfect. I think I'm done.
I'm
just kidding. I'm kidding. I believe in reincarnation too, by the way.
I do. I think that I've been here many times, and I'm going to. A lot of the things that happen in your current life, if you talk to a past life regressionist or somebody who could take you back to experience or to learn what you were and who you were in prior lives, and I've talked to a lot of past life regressionists, and I think it's fascinating. So much of your prior lives are overlapping with your current life. There are reasons why you're experiencing what you're experiencing that are because of your ancestral lineage, because of your past life experiences, because of karma. A lot of people don't think karma is a real thing, but
I do.
it is so, it is, you can't escape it. If you belittle somebody in this life and make them feel less and take away their power, you are more than likely to have that experience in your next incarnation where you don't have power and you are manipulated. Like, it is just a threat. It's just, I wish more people understood who we really are as far in the grand scheme of things. We have been taught since we got here, you know, you're born, you go to school, you get a job, you know, you get married, you have kids. There's like a script that you're supposed to follow. I've lived a very unconventional life and like I flipped that script. I didn't do any of those things. And I'm very grateful for that. But we're all programmed to a certain extent. And at the end of the day, our subconscious mind, our belief system really does dictate a lot of what happens in our lives.
Absolutely.
You know, we are in essence, and I'm kind of going all over the map here because I have so many different little things I want to say, but like one of the things that I've learned is we're creators. We're co-creating our existence by what we say, how we feel, what our intentions are, what we focus on, we bring into our lives. Like, one of the greatest gifts that I have achieved through my own spiritual awakening is that I really live in the present moment. I don't think anymore about my past mistakes, about how I could have done something better. I leave it in the past. I'm not worried about what's going on in the future because that hasn't happened yet. And I think to myself, I'm creating my future every moment of every day. I'm creating that. So I have to think, what do I want to create? And I am always very conscious of my vibration, how I'm thinking, what I'm thinking, what my emotional state is, how that's impacting people around me. And I live much more consciously. Like most of us are walking around kind of asleep. We're asleep. We're distracted by bullshit. We don't pay attention to what really matters. And we've been kind of hypnotized in a way to forget that we are more than our ego minds. We are a fractal being light in a meat suit walking around on this plane
in
a meat suit. And, we are eternal beings of light. We're going to go on and live other existences. We're here to grow and expand our consciousness. This all looks real, but from what I understand, it's pretty much energy. If you get down to quantum physics, quantum mechanics, how it works, it will, quantum scientists are saying, it's air, it's energy, it's vibration, it's
They're
frequency.
all atoms.
It's all atoms.
Yeah.
So it's like you're constantly creating every moment that you're alive on this planet. You got to start asking yourself, what do you want to create? A really good example is right now in the film industry. Like, the film industry is pretty much collapsed in the United States. And I know a lot of people that are just freaking out. Rightly so. They've had their careers ripped out from underneath them. I'm in that basket. I haven't worked since Bert.
Are you serious?
I haven't worked since Bert. Had 2 interviews this week. Don't know yet, but I'm any other person. The old me would be freaking out, not sleeping, full anxiety, panic mode, eject, what happened? And I'm not. I'm, for better or worse, super chill about it. I'm like, I now 100% trust my path. I 100% know that I'm going to be okay. I listen to my inner guidance more than my outer experiences and my outer reality. I pay more attention to what's going on right here because this is going to dictate what happens next.
Right.
Not whatever circumstances I'm under right now, because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. I'm a creator of my reality. I'm going to march forward knowing that I am a fractal of the divine. This is just an experience. I've had many experiences in my life, good, bad, ugly. I've had other lives. And just because I'm going through an absolute crisis of my career, I look at it with little to no fear. I know that I'm on my right path. I know I'm going to be okay. And belief is half of the battle.
Belief is half the battle.
Belief is half of the battle.
Yes. Well, what you just described, in my opinion, is faith.
Yes. It's faith.
Faith.
Yeah.
You have faith in the universe, yourself,
Yes.
your resources,
Yes.
your power, your energy.
Yes.
You just have faith.
Yes.
And when you truly have faith, I think it's very hard to have faith and fear at the same time.
It is.
They just can't really coexist.
They do not compute
So
together.
They don't. So you make a choice.
Yeah.
Am I going to live in fear?
Yeah.
Or am I going to live in faith?
That's right.
And you just have to choose faith. And it doesn't mean sometimes you don't get scared.
Exactly.
That's not the same.
Exactly.
It's how you live. And, sometimes there are times in this job where I go, I do not want to deal with that at all. And I'm afraid of the outcome. But I have faith that the outcome will be fine.
Yep.
But there's still like a little tug sometimes. Fear doesn't disappear entirely.
Yeah.
But it dissipates so much when you really lean into faith. I've always been very faithful. I have no anxiety. Bert always says, you're dead inside to me. I'm like, I'm not dead inside. I trust the system.
Yeah.
I trust the belief system.
Yes.
Listen, when I started this journey of reading all of these books, I didn't know that I was rewiring my brain. But as a 55-year-old woman who's now read these books for 35 years, I was rewiring my brain.
100%.
I was rewiring the pathways for how I perceived everything. I have a perfect example. I've said this a million times on my podcast, but it's such a clear example of perception profoundly changing experience. Okay. So I was date raped in college, which was
I'm so
awful.
sorry.
But I let it really not control me, but really got in my psyche for a long time.
Yeah.
Cut my hair short, dressed like a boy, no dates, nobody's touching me, goodbye. Super hard on the outside, really avoidant in attachment, right?
Yep.
And then one day I was sitting with myself and I went, hold on. It was maybe 3 minutes of my life, 7 minutes of my life, 15 minutes of my life. Am I really going to let 15 minutes of my life own the rest of my life?
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
So let's get rid of that. And the energetic shift was immediate. Just that one realization.
Yes.
Doesn't mean that I didn't go to therapy and really work through some stuff. Didn't mean it didn't sneak up on me sometimes when I wasn't watching. As soon as I had a baby, I had a physical reaction to trauma to that part of my body, which I think is something that had nothing to do with rewiring my brain. It had everything to do with physical trauma being repeated in the same physical part of my body, and then having to recalibrate from that. But the recalibration was very fast because I had reframed the experience.
Yeah.
And before I was blaming myself for the experience entirely. The skirt was too short. You drank too much. You stayed too long at the party.
Yep.
You flirted too hard. See what you got. You deserved it, right? It's not true. That's not true.
Not at all.
Not at all. But but literally that change in perception was so profound and so slight. It wasn't it was just like, hold on, I'm not going to give this guy my whole life for the 15 fucking minutes he did that. That was awful.
That is a beautiful example of choosing to the way in which you perceive any situation in your life gives it meaning.
Absolutely.
That's it. That's right. That is right there. That's
it.
That's a brilliant, learning, thing to learn.
It's an example of something that is truly damaging. I was a victim of a violent crime.
Yes.
I was. That was not my fault. As much as I did wear the short skirt and I did drink too much and I did stay too long at the party and I did flirt with a guy earlier in the night. Doesn't matter. I was a victim of a violent act against my physical person. That's true. And I don't deny that or deny myself the validation of that.
Yes.
That was very traumatic.
Yes.
It was horrible.
Yes.
But that just one shift in perception
Yep.
of like, hold on. It was, look at all this life you had before that.
Yep.
And look at all this life you're going to have after that.
That's right.
It was just, I mean, it might have been 7 minutes of my life that was horrible. So, okay, well, we'll just let that go.
Yeah. I mean,
you know?
it's a matter of choosing what you're going to focus your emotions, your intentions on. And emotions are powerful stuff.
And allow. Not
Yeah.
just to focus, but to allow.
Yes.
To allow yourself
Yes.
to ruminate in the wrong direction.
Self-torture almost,
Yes.
you know? It's
you
like,
should ruminate in the positive direction.
Yes.
You can also ruminate, maybe this is the wrong term for professionals out there, you can also choose to focus on healing
yes.
as opposed to focusing on suffering.
Yes, yes, yes.
At the end of the day, it's the same 5 minutes of your life.
Whatever you choose to focus on, it is going to grow.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, choose wisely, kids.
Choose wisely, right?
Choose wisely. You know, it's so
Because the crown is yours.
Yeah.
As Jeff King says, the crown is yours. You know? Just take it.
It's exactly. I often think what we could accomplish is if we were able to control our fear more. I mean, I think there's so much, people have so much fear over everything. It's our first go-to emotion. We love if we don't understand anything or if something's different or weird, we go to fear. That's our go-to. And I would suggest instead of going to fear, whether it be something traumatic happens or you're unsure of something or whatever, you know, ask yourself why you're feeling fear. Or ask yourself if you're going through a hard time or something traumatic has happened, what is this trying to teach me?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? What am I supposed to be learning from this? Everything, we should start leaning into a little bit more of the line of thought that every huge obstacle that gets put into your plate, it's probably there for a reason.
It's an opportunity.
It's an opportunity to grow and learn beyond where you're at now.
Yes.
And pain equals progress.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Well, that
it sucks, but like.
But if you shift from fear to curiosity.
Yes.
And also from reaction to curiosity, from defensiveness to curiosity,
Yes.
from anger to curiosity. If you just can lean into curiosity, even love.
Yes.
If love shows up for the young lady on The Bachelorette, instead of being like, but he's so hot, maybe she should have said, 4 or 5 guys, independent of each other, have said to me, I have a red flag. Maybe I should investigate that.
Yes.
Curiosity. You know,
Yes.
instead of being like, don't tell me what to do,
Yes.
which was kind of what she was saying. Hey, don't tell me how to run my life. Well, okay, if 5 people say you have a tail, you maybe should check out the tail. Just saying.
Yeah.
Be curious. Do I have a tail? Maybe I do have a tail. Maybe
You
it's
know-
a nub tail and I can't see it myself. But someone sees a tail. You know, it's curiosity is your best
Yes.
friend
Yes.
for everything you do.
Yes.
But for your own personal relationship with yourself, it is the most important thing you can have. You know?
100%. I mean, you know, it's easy for me to say, oh yeah, just go start sitting in meditation and go get a book on spirituality. Like, number one, not everyone's going to awaken or get on their path in this lifetime. It's just not going to happen for
No.
everybody. And number two, nobody could have told me anything without me experiencing it myself. Like somebody could have said, Busby, you need to do this and this is going to happen. And like, I was such a stubborn, gonna do it, gonna experience it, don't tell me like person. Like, I think that with age comes wisdom.
Of course.
And
One would hope.
you can't, you know, somebody that's 25 years old who has, you know, that level of non-life experience, it's very hard for them to see the error of their ways, shall we say.
Yeah.
There's just no life experience there to give you the information you need to make good decisions.
And the thing about it is, too, I think back in the day, you had the gift of seeing elders in a different way, I think.
Yeah.
And I said this to both my girls. I was like, listen, and I've said this on here before too, your 20s are, everything's a first. It's your first love, your first job, your first failure, your first firing, your first I'm in the wrong friend group. It's your first, wait a minute, I gained 20 pounds. Why? All of this is your first. So all of it is going to be intense.
Yeah.
Anything you do the first time is intense. The first time you jump off the diving board into the pool, you think you're going to die.
Yeah.
And then you're like, amazing. I can do that over and over. So if you just have the awareness that in your 20s, you're supposed to be failing.
Yeah.
That's your job. Your job is to fail and fail massively.
Yes.
Because
do it
then
right.
you can learn. I mean, really?
Yes.
Then you can learn. Then you can then you can go, well, I'll never do that again.
Yeah.
Or I may do that a couple more times and then learn, but to give yourself the grace to let your 20s just be
your learning curve.
Your learning curve. And then your 30s, you start kind of applying what you learn. And then your 40s, you start really honing who you are.
Right.
That's really what the path is.
Yes.
I think I have some kind of weird, funky gene. I think I was an adult at age 4, where I was taking care of the adults in my life emotionally at age 4 and myself. And so I had a fast track. By the time I got to 20 and met this Reiki guy, I had already had all these mistakes happening where I was, doing things too young, drinking too much too young, having sex too young because of the broken parts that all that sat on top of. So I fast tracked. By the time I got to my 20s, I still made all those mistakes, made the wrong friends, fell with the wrong guy, but I was so hungry for healing.
Yeah.
That came early for me.
Yeah.
So I read books of women in their 40s and 50s having aha moments that I had in my 20s, and I don't think that I'm normal. I think mine came from having the childhood I had.
Or even a past life.
Or a past life. Speaking of that, so I had this woman come to my house because my mom and I don't have a relationship. So my mom and I have had a contentious relationship our whole lives together. And I love my mother. There's a lot about me that is my mother. She's very gregarious. She's really friendly. She's fun. She has a great laugh. She starts every day with a song. She's really great. But I believe, it is my personal belief, that she has a pretty significant personality disorder. And it was really hard to grow up in that environment. And so once I had kids, she has, at regular intervals in my life, said, "You're dead to me. I don't want to know you ever." And so she did that when I was around 13, and then again about 23, and then again at 33, coincidentally, every 10 years. And when she did it at 33, I was pregnant with George, and I went, "Deal."
Yeah.
Because you will not be doing this to my child.
Yeah.
Deal.
Yeah.
Then I'm done. And so, and I felt good about that. I wrote her lovely letters thanking her for who I am. I really forgave her for everything. I wish her nothing but the best. I don't really have any attachment to her other than gratitude for that which she gave me.
That's huge.
So, but I started being suspicious of that. And I started feeling guilty about that feeling. I started feeling guilty about being free of her. And thinking that that's a bad person. So I actually called this woman. I don't even know what her title would be. I don't think she's a medium. She had a pendulum that she swung over a circle that she read. I don't know what her riffraff was, but I bought it. She knew my first name. She barely spoke English. She was a hairdresser by trade, but has always had this pendulum swinging, I can talk to people gift. She didn't even talk to dead people. I don't know who the fuck she talked to, but she knew my first name only. She had no idea who I was. This was probably 8 years ago. Walked in my house, sat down, and said, "You're done with your mother. You don't need to worry about her at all. You agreed to come in this life to be finished, and you're finished. So don't worry about it." And I literally was like, I had said nothing to her. I had said nothing, not one word. Just, "Hello, my name is LeeAnn. Can I get you a glass of water?" And that's the first thing out of her mouth when she started swinging that pendulum. And I went, you know what then? I will be done. That's what I wanted. I wanted to hear that I'm not a bad person for feeling done. Yeah. Because I felt society and other people would go, "Oh, are you sure there's just no way you can make up with your mother?" And I'm like, dude, I've tried 8 ways to Sunday and I don't know how. And and I feel good about the work I've put in.
And that's all that matters.
But I didn't. There was that moment of doubt. And that woman gave me so much peace.
Just from what she said, it sounds to me, because the other thing that I've learned, through death, and rebirth, we come back here a lot of the times with the same people working out different karma with each other. They call it your soul family. I am sure, I'm positive, you and your mother have had several lifetimes together where you guys have had combative. Maybe he beat you as at the husband in your last life, or maybe who knows what your relationship was. Maybe you were her daughter, or she was your whatever. Maybe the roles were flipped, whatever. And the fact that she said you've come down here to kind of end that storyline in a way, rather than to carry it on into your next incarnation, and to really put it in a bubble and blow it away and be at peace with it. And that's a beautiful thing in itself. It's beautiful.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
She said, you chose her. You chose her to finish it, and you're finished. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And then she said, your husband, you were his mother in a past life. And I don't know what your dynamic is now, but I think you take more care of him than he takes care of you. And you're happy. You seem happy. I think you're happy, but it could be more balanced. And I was like, he wasn't home. She had no idea who he was. And I was like, that also makes sense, because I don't ever want to be his mother, but I'm definitely very caring of him and what he needs, and very aware of his stuff in a way that he's not capable of being aware of for any other human. He does his very best for me, and he does a really good job. But what she said about it being out of balance, I definitely care for him in a more comprehensive way than he can care for anybody. Yeah. But that was interesting too.
I would be interested to have Bert go through a past life regression to see
which king he was in history.
Who he was in a past lifetime.
He was a royalty at some point. I told him at one point, I was like, in a past life, I was like a serf. Yeah. And you were like King Louis going, serf, bring me my turkey leg. That's what it was.
I've been a witch. I've been burned at the stake.
Oh my God.
Which makes total sense to me.
100% Busby.
I was like, yes, that's me. And they said,
this is your familiar.
Exactly. And they said, and you didn't go down crying. She's like, you went out cussing. I was like, that sounds exactly like me.
Yes.
I would go down cussing. That is within my soul vibe.
Now,
100%.
were you a real rich, or were you wrongly persecuted?
I mean, we're all witches wrongly persecuted at the end of the day. I don't know any witch that went down that wasn't, completely innocent of whatever, But it's interesting. I've met so many people now that have these gifts, these real gifts that can actually tap into your energy and tell you things that there's just no possible way that unless she is actually communicating with some sort of higher self, some sort of energy that we cannot pick up.
Agree.
And
I totally agree. And we're foolish to think that the only thing exists is what we can see.
Exactly.
That's insane. I mean, there are Martians somewhere else out there. We are not the only
aliens are coming, my friend. We're going to see them in the next couple of years. You mark my words. I'm saying it on the show today, folks. Aliens are coming in the next couple of years. I'm saying it.
I hope they stay somewhere else. However, I believe in their existence. I don't want them in my yard, but I do believe they exist. I mean, we're crazy to think that there's no other planet in this entire universe that has life. That's the most foolish belief ever.
I mean, I have gone down the rabbit hole so much, LeeAnn. Like some of them, my new beliefs, you would kind of like raise.
Well, give me one. What's one? Give me one. Give me one.
I mean, I believe that we're living in a multi-dimensional reality. I believe there's other dimensions that based on what your frequency is, it will allow you to either be able to interpret that other dimension or energy or not. And I believe that almost everything is frequency, vibration, energy, consciousness. We are all connected. We're all one. Yeah. It's one consciousness. We're all down here connected, living so-called separate lives, but we all come from the same exact source. We're connected. That's why you have a global consciousness. That's why, there's a lot of things to be frightened of right now, what's going on in the world. There's a lot of things that you could get very upset about what's happening. You could turn on the news. I stopped watching the news. I'm so far out of the 3D matrix, I can't even tell you. I pay my taxes, sure. But other than that, I don't buy into a lot of the mainstream culture media. I've just checked out because I don't feel it serves humanity. It's there to distract us from figuring out who the fuck we are.
Yeah.
And the reason why we don't have more people understanding the true nature of our reality is because we're distracted by bullshit all the time.
It's bullshit. It's all a bunch of bullshit.
It's all a bunch of bullshit.
Noise. It's a lot of noise.
Turn it off.
It's Satan. Really.
It is. It is not there for your highest and greatest good, ladies and gentlemen.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
It's Satan himself.
Turn it off.
It is.
And the beautiful thing about turning it off, turning off the news, turning off mainstream, whatever is going on, and I sit a lot more in silence, which is nothing. I used to go to bed with the TV on.
Did you really?
Oh, yes, my whole life. Even my grandma Busby, when we would go and she would have the TV on all night. That's how I learned it. My whole life, I've slept with the TV on, which is terrible, and I know, but I can't sleep any other way until now.
Yeah.
Now I don't do it, but for most of my life I did. But when I stopped turning the news off, or started turning the news off and turning the TV off and spending more time in silence, listening to my inner guidance, feeling I have been able to even start picking up energies around me that I never used to be able to pick up. I started doing things like listening to hemisync music, which is music that allows your left and right brain to start communicating with each other.
Oh, interesting.
And that really allows your senses to be opened up to things to perceive that you would not otherwise be able to perceive. There is a lot more magic going on in this reality than anybody wants to pay attention to, or that anybody will tell you. There just is. And if you start looking for it and you start seeking it, it's going to find you and it's going to respond to you. I had something happen to me. It's about 30 days ago now. It's not quite 30 days, but I haven't spoken about it because I just don't know what to say about it yet. So I'm not saying anything because I'm like, I don't know what to say.
What a cliffhanger.
I know, but I am going to start, I'm going to see what happens. But I had something happen to me, LeeAnn, that I can't explain, and that that it was so impactful to me that I don't even want to tell somebody else because I don't even know I'm never one less for words, but something happened to me the first night of the winter solstice this year, because I've also started living more by the lunar eclipses. I've started following more natural patterns. I do think part of our industrialization of this world has taken us away from nature.
100%.
It's taken us away from our natural rhythm, which we are a part of nature. We should be communing with nature. It has its own life, its own energy, its own consciousness. Everything is conscious. Did you guys hear that? Everything is conscious.
I agree with you.
Everything.
Yeah.
Maggie's conscious. She completely knows what I'm saying right now. Not only because she's brilliant, but
she has very big ears too.
Because she's a conscious, sentient being that has her own soul and her own soul journey.
Oh, totally.
She does, just as every other living organism on this planet.
Yeah,
we're all from the same source, consciousness. So, I mean, something's happened to me that I can't explain, and I don't know when I'm ever going to talk about it, but I feel like the majority of what's put in front of our eyeballs every single day on this planet is a game of trying to get you to not look inside yourself. That's it. If we all woke up and really understood that we're creating in every single moment we're here, that we are the creators of this planet, that the reason maybe why they feed us certain media and certain stories, and
it's because we asked for it,
is because, well, also I think they want to inject as much fear, outrage, low vibrational feelings, emotions. Like there's all kinds of things that people could be putting out in the media, and 9 times out of 10, it's violent. It's sad.
Divisive.
It's divisive. It's angry, anger provoking, outrage provoking. There is a reason. Turn it off. You're just affecting the global consciousness. And I've never heard of anything getting better by getting scared, getting anxious, or getting angry. That doesn't help.
No.
That does nothing.
I listen to a half hour of news in the morning on the radio. I don't watch it. I listen to it while I am making my protein shake, feeding my dog, getting my just so I know what's happening in the world in a very general way. And that's all I do. Because it's too much. Because you can consume news or information 24 hours a day if you choose to. And I don't choose to. As you know, when we had the news at 8 in the morning or 7 in the morning, like 11 o'clock in the middle of the day, and then you had at 11 o'clock at night. Those are the only 3 times you could get the news. And so the rest of the time, no one was worried about the news. You were worried about whatever your life was doing. But it's just constant. It's that way with everything. I agree with you about being disconnected with nature. Silence is the best gift you can give yourself. And even, silence doesn't have to be huge. That's the thing, is that people think about things as some major change. Silence today, I was coming home from working out. We have this new dog again. I am so go all the time. I said to myself today, when I get home, I'm going to spend 5 minutes in the backyard with this dog before I do anything else. And when I was doing that, I went, I need to do this every day. Not for the dog, for me. It's 5 minutes. Is it going to make or break my day? No, it's not. It's 5 minutes. And now I'm barefoot in my grass with an animal. And I'm chasing the dog. Dog's chasing me. Slobber's flying. I'm not getting sweaty. I'm not messing up my hair. This is okay. I can insert 5 minutes in the middle of the day to just run in the yard with my dog. And when I got done, I was like, I felt like a kid. And we forget it's 5 minutes. It doesn't have to be that deep. So I started this challenge, this 100-day challenge, where I decided I would write a haiku a day for 100 days.
Oh, wow. I love that.
So I love it too. I'm on day like 38, I think. And I didn't pressure myself. I was like, it doesn't have to be about nature. It doesn't have to be, consonants only. It doesn't have to be like super, I discovered this about myself. I need 5 words, 7 words, 5 words. That's my haiku. So that's all I'm going to do. So some of my haikus are like, I woke up tired today. It's just like, this is where I am today. It's a moment for me to just check in with the first thing that pops into my mind. And sometimes what's interesting about that is the first thing that pops in your mind, you go, well, that's not worth writing a haiku about. And then I go back and go, but that was the first thing that popped in my mind. So if that's the first thing that popped in my mind, why? Why is that? Because I usually write it as soon as I wake up. So it's just, it takes me less than 5 minutes to do that every day. But because I'm not pressuring myself for it to be anything special, no one needs to read them. Some of them are so dumb, but I don't really care. It's a moment for me to put something down on paper that's the first thing that popped in my mind in a creative way. And then I have to get it in 575 words. And then I have a nice little beautiful box that I put them in. And it's a ritual. That is about me and only me, and it's for me. It's not for anyone else.
I love that. Everyone needs to it's hard because you, of all people, you live a crazy busy life.
We do.
It's jam-packed, nonstop. So you, of all people, need to be taking the pause button and doing stuff like that. It helps you connect to yourself. And it helps you use critical thinking skills that a lot of people don't use these days. Like one of the things that when I turned off the TV and turned off everything and started sitting in silence, I started formulating my own thoughts again, having my own opinions.
Right?
Yeah, really have, I think we underestimate the level of programming we get by constantly watching things. It does infect our subconscious minds. It does affect our emotional makeup. It affects what we think, what we speak. We're easily programmed buggers. We are. You guys, if you're not thinking to yourself, I don't care if you're watching a mayonnaise commercial or a movie, what is this trying to get me to think, feel, say, or do?
Yes.
Put that filter on your brain whenever you're letting something infect your eyeballs, because everything has an agenda. Everything, has an agenda.
Be curious.
Yes.
Why am I being fed this?
Yes.
How do I really feel about this?
Yes.
What was that first reaction I had to this?
Yes.
Don't be afraid to go against the grain.
No.
That one battle after the next. Worst movie I've ever seen in my life. Everyone loves it. And I'm like, seriously? Snooze fest. As soon as it was over, I was like, that's 2 hours I'll never get back. No thanks. Leonardo DiCaprio just postured for 2 hours. Who wants to see Paul Thomas Anderson? What? I had the same reaction with Magnolia. I had the same reaction with There Will Be Blood. And I went, damn it, why didn't someone tell me this was a Paul Thomas Anderson movie? I never would have sat down and watched the shit. But that's, who says that? Everybody's like, best movie I've ever seen. And I'm like, why? But why? Why?
Yep.
Why was it the best movie?
Yep.
The best part of that movie was the young girl.
Yeah,
that's the best part of the movie.
I saw a trailer. She seems
great. She was fantastic.
Yeah.
I loved her character. I loved her.
Yeah.
The rest of it, I was like, what are we doing? I was so angry when that movie was over.
I love that note of going against the grain and speaking your truth. And everybody needs to speak their truth. I don't give a shit if it's about a freaking movie or whatever. Pick your poison. Everybody should be living and standing in their truth and speaking their truth and feeling good about it. This mass group think that we have going on like things like social media and stuff like that is such a detriment to our own ability to formulate opinions, sentences, thoughts, feelings that are of your own making, that are of your own inner guidance. If you shut up and turn all that out, this is going to start talking to you and pulling you in directions in the most magical way. And it really is the way in which we all should be living, is our internal guidance. Our brain is supposed to be like, interpreting the environment, temperature, do I need to run from that? Like I'm walking. It's not really meant to like make all the big decisions in our life. The big decisions in our life should always be made, where are you going? By your internal guidance, your intuition, man.
Yeah, totally.
Women have intuition much stronger, I think, than men. It is part of our feminine divine energy.
Yep. So in your podcast, who was someone, what episode, maybe this may be putting you on the spot, did you just really have like a mind-blowing moment?
I mean, so many. Mark Boyd with past life regressions. That was amazing. I mean, anybody that is even at all curious about the nature of reality, energy, near-death experiences. Like I've had some great people that have had like the most crazy near-death experiences. And then the story after, I've talked to shamans. I talked to meditation specialist, transcendental meditation specialists. I talked to astrologists and mediums. And who did I interview yesterday? Yesterday, I interviewed this woman who was a former monk, and now she's out there talking about the Shatki, the rise of the feminine divine. Like, there's just so many different layers to my podcast. And although I just started to do it out of the thin air, I feel like I've bin wearing this coat for a long time. Like, it feels natural for me to do the show. It doesn't feel weird. It doesn't feel, I never get nervous. I feel very comfortable doing it. But like, as far as like the one that has like blown my mind the worst or the most, I interviewed this dude from Australia who like took the archives of near-death experiencers and what they would say about their their experience. And then he went through all the religious texts from Taoism to Christianity to Judaism to Muslim to Islam or whatever. And he matched them up.
Oh, wow.
And saw how they overlapped almost seamlessly from modern day English speaking. This is what I was told when I died, to scripture. And it was so impactful to listen to number one, read the book, and number two, have the discussion about the similarities between what happens when we die based on people who have come back from death and what the Bibles of many different religious disciplines said about death and what happens, and the fact that they were so, I mean, the more and more I'm dabbling in this, the more and more I understand that ancient texts, there is truth in them.
Of course.
That we need to refer to them, and not just the Bible and not just the Quran, and not like there's the big ones that, you know, but there's texts out there that are available that even go prior to those times, like deep Babylonian, ancient Egyptian times. And there's knowledge there that that is really will enlighten you to who we are today. It just doesn't get talked about anymore. It just is not at the forefront. And nobody is pushing for a great awakening. They want us to keep kind of controlled, doing our jobs,
close-minded,
slave labor, and then you're dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could go into a whole conversation even about how dystopian our economy, our world is now. There's so much more. I feel there's an uptick of violence, of anger, of division, of hatred, of judgment, and there's many, many, many reasons for that. But I don't know. I'm on a mission to raise the global consciousness of this planet, LeeAnn.
Love it.
Stop focusing on the what you don't have. It's things that we've all been taught over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's about building intrinsic value instead of valuing extrinsic value.
Yes.
Extrinsic is exteriors, is things that other people say about you, that accomplishments that are not based on self-growth. Intrinsic value is really what you're supposed to teach your children when you're raising children, in my opinion, is that the most important lessons they can learn are the lessons that grow that intrinsic value. Doing something hard and overcoming it, having a hard conversation with a friend, honoring yourself and your boundaries, admitting when you're wrong, apologizing when you're supposed to, saying please and thank you. Those even though please and thank you may not sound like it builds intrinsic value, but over time and witnessing how someone reacts to you saying please and thank you does build intrinsic value in a child, is that they have respect for others. And that builds your core kind of goodness, for lack of a better word. To the want to grow goodness, I think, is something that I want to be a good person.
Yes.
I've always wanted to be a good person.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to be, not for other people to think I'm a good person, but for me to think I'm a good person, which is why I had that moment about my mom.
Yeah.
It was about me making sure that I was doing right by me and not dismissing or denying something. If there was something I wasn't looking at, if there was something I'd missed, if I was thinking about this improperly, I'd rather know that than just feel like I'm right. I want to know. I really have always just wanted to be a good person.
You want to feel good in your skin.
Mm-hmm.
You want to go to, it's the one good thing about me is I really am pretty authentic, and I always do try and do the right thing all the time. I don't have a face that I put on at work, and then I'm like, this is me.
No, you're the same.
I'm the same. It doesn't matter
you're
where
the same
I'm at.
On set. Same dog.
Same. I will give you the same as I give you
Yeah.
And I don't know how to be anyone else but me.
Yeah.
I don't know how to do. There's a lot of people out there that will give you a version of themselves, and you'd never know that was not the version authentic, you know? And I don't have that in me. And you and I both have like integrity. We want people to do well. I also, though, don't have a lot of like, I'm not super competitive. I want us all to do well.
I want us all to
do well. Like,
Hey.
I don't have to be the big man on campus. I'm good.
Yes.
I'm number 5 on the call sheet. Remember? Like,
Yes.
I'm good. Like, we're all going to do great. We're swimming in the same pond. Everybody's going to love each
you
other.
win, I win. Let's go.
It's exactly.
Yeah, that's
so
how
it's
I
like,
feel.
It's, I don't understand people that aren't like that.
That aren't win-win.
Yeah, that I don't get where your motivation is. I don't get where you're going. I don't get what's what you're trying to fill up inside you. I don't understand it. But having said that, everybody does come down here with certain characteristics based on their ancestral lineage, based on their genetics, based on their past life experiences. And that's why you do have some people that you just don't understand because they're here experiencing what they need to experience in order to expand their own soul. And I'm really trying to be less judgmental of how people walk around and interact because everybody's got their own shit, LeeAnn. And not everyone's going to awaken. Like before, I would be the first one to get in somebody's face if I saw them or whatever do something that I felt was inappropriate or messed up. And I'm not like that anymore. I'm much more live and let live because that's their journey.
You do you.
That's what does Mel Robbins say? Let them. I'm very much like that. Like, just let them do their thing. It's not your journey.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to be changing anybody anytime soon.
Yeah, I feel that way too. The best. Oh, I have this great quote in my. I collected when I was in my 20s. When I was unknowingly rewiring my brain, I figured out I had been given a lot of bad messages from my parenting, not from my dad. So I decided I needed a Bible that I made that was my set of values and of my exact integrity path, right? This is my path to integrity or to peace or to freedom or to happiness or whatever. Yeah. So I just started collecting quotes from books, lyrics from music, poetry, whatever, and put it in this book. I love it. I've always called it my Bible. I love it. I still put stuff in it even today. I've had it since 1993. So it's 23 when I started it, and I still add things to it regularly. But one of the things that I don't know why I started off on this. You were talking about something, and I thought about something in my Bible. I think it was that, one of the things I've said before from the Bible, my Bible is who you are speaks so loudly I can't hear what you're saying.
Yes.
So who you are and really trying to be that person to the best of your ability answers so many questions and takes care of so many problem people in your life. If you just are who you are, the people who give you problem, who you might in the past have judged, just aren't around.
Yeah. And a lot of that is based on vibration. Whatever you're vibrating at, you're going to pull into you. So if you're, my mom always used to say, birds of a feather flock together.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. You're vibrationally going to attract where you're at. So if if you find yourself being particularly angry, outraged, or, you're going to attract those interactions in your life, whether you like them or not. If that's how you're vibrating, that's what you're going to pull in.
Right.
And, for me, I always, I'll say it again. I want us all to do good.
Yeah,
I want everyone to awaken. I don't want everyone to have to go through the trauma of the awakening. Like the dark night of the soul experience is terrible. Being stripped of your ego, being stripped of your identity, not being able to function. I didn't realize how much energy it took to be me till I got sick. And then I was like, wanted to just be my normal self when I was out in public. Because I'm super I jump on people, I shake people. I'm very energetic.
Yeah.
Until I was sick, I was like, oh, it takes a lot of energy to be me. Like I can't be my authentic self. I I don't have the energy in me to do it. And now that I've gone through everything that I've gone through, and I've finally into a place in my life where I'm starting to feel so much better. Like even the last couple of years. Remember you asked me Christine asked me on the podcast, you had somebody bail or whatever. And Christine's like, can you come in today? And I said, no, I'm sorry. I'm booked on something. I was actually sick that day.
You were?
I was sick. I couldn't get out of bed and I
God.
felt bad, but I didn't want to tell you guys I was sick because like I never like saying that, verbalizing that, putting that out there. But like just up until recently, I have been very much good days, bad days, good days, bad days. I've been suicidal in my life several times.
Have you really?
Yes. I have mapped out how to do it in the whole 9 yards. Like I was done. Like if I can't be here and be myself, I'm not being here. Maybe that's part of my stubbornness, but like it is. Like if I can't be here and be me, I don't want to be here. Right. I don't want to live like this. I can't do it. But
then what got you through it? What got you to the other side because you're obviously still here?
I mean, number one, my mom, because my mom's probably the only person on the planet that knows exactly how dark my life got. Probably the only one. And number two, goddamn stick-to-itiveness, like fighting. I'm fighting for my life here. And I would have days where I was like, I'm done. I don't have another hill to climb after this. I can't, because, I would get so excited when I felt better. I was like, yeah, this is it. I'm done. Let's go. I'm done with this shit. Yeah. And then it would hit me again. And I couldn't take the mental, like, I can't climb the hill anymore. I'm tired. I don't have another hill in me. So it just became this cycle of me feeling better, being elated. And then when I would have, 3 months or whatever, and it would knock me down again, I just couldn't I couldn't climb back up anymore. I'd rather just lay down. Like I started going, I'm tapping out. I'm done. I don't want to do it anymore. I'm good. I really lived like a really great life up until I got sick. Like I had such great experiences in my life. My childhood was fairly magical, like I had good experiences, lots of fun. My life was great until I had health issues. And now I understand why I had them. I do think I was supposed to have a spiritual awakening. I do think this is what I'm supposed to be doing is talking about it, trying to inspire, trying to awaken others as best I can.
Yeah.
I do feel like there's a huge spiritual awakening happening on the planet. Energetically, it makes sense. You're seeing all of our institutions like basically crumble before us as we speak. That's all energy, what's happening in the world. But I mean, it's just been traumatic. It's been hard, but I finally now feel like I have a handle on my health and I'm excited for the second half of my life.
Oh, that's amazing.
And I never felt excited. Like if you can't get excited about the future because you feel like you're going to live the way you have been living, like you just... and the other thing, like, I don't have kids or or a husband. Like, at some points, like, what am I doing here? Like, my career's in the toilet. I have no husband. I have no kids. I'm on my own. I don't need to be here. And I'm not scared to die. That's the other thing.
Right.
I'm not scared to die. I'm just going to pop out of my body. And yes, I'll have to deal with the karma of killing myself. Sure. Okay, fine. but I'm just going to pop out of my body. That's it. I'm just hitting eject. One of the other greatest gifts with my spiritual awakening is like, dying does not, I have no fear of death. And I don't think we should look at death as tragic. I don't think that we should look at death as an ending. And I don't think we should look at death as something to fear. If you know that you are souls eternal and you're on a journey, live your journey knowing you're going to come back and journey again.
Right.
What are we crying about?
I don't know.
And all the people that I know that talk to people on the other side and they love it over there.
Right.
They don't want to come back. They look at us and be like, your poor souls in the 3D plane having to deal with all your emotions.
Have fun in the muck and the mud.
So happy I'm not down there with you all.
Have fun.
Yes, water's great over here.
All right.
So the people on the other side are not sad. They're like, sorry you're still over there, but like, we'll see you when you get here and we'll be here to greet you. And I've had shows where I've gotten to speak to my spirit guide. My spirit guide came through on a channeler. Channelers, I don't know if you've listened to any channelers.
I don't know. What's a channeler?
Oh my God, a channeler. So the first time I listened to a channeler, it was probably 5 or 6 years ago. And I was like, that guy's lying. You're full of it. This is all fake. This is just acting. And then as you get in, as you wade into the waters and you go down the rabbit hole and you start expanding your knowledge in your mind, you start understanding about the interdimensional nature of our reality and how beings, non-physical beings, have the ability to communicate us through frequency, vibration, and can step in to somebody's consciousness and speak through them. And that's basically what they do. Is a higher dimensional being will enter and kind of take over someone else's physical being and have full-on conversations. And so I had Nico the medium on, and he's this old New York Greek dude, like not woo-woo. Like a lot of the spiritual people are super like very holy, love. He's like New Yorker, like just such a masculine, like Greek dude. Anyways, he channels this collective called Noah. And while I was listening to Noah and asking them questions, I asked, about nature of reality and what we're doing here and what is death and all this stuff. Noah said another being would like to come through and speak to you. And his name's Sharif. And he said he'd been with me many, many lifetimes. He said I was a warrior in another life, that we'd fought battles together. That is whoosh, blows your mind. You're like, oh my, life is just so much more comic booky, like it's more Luke Skywalker than it is The Office, if you know what I mean. It's more magic. It's more, there's more going on in our reality than what we are able to see, what we're able to pick up, and what we're able to pay attention to. And a lot of the reason why is because we're paying attention to the wrong shit.
Yeah, right.
We just are. We are like magical, limitless, powerful beings. We are powerful. And if you start taking your power back and owning it and understanding it and reprogram your program mind, which is filled with beliefs of limitations, That's all it is your belief system. You've got to tap into your subconscious mind, flip it, understand who you are, and you can walk through world with such bigger balls because you know who you are.
Yeah.
You know what to expect. You know that you have way more say in your own reality and what you experience and how you perceive everything. And you got to listen to your inner guidance. Your inner guidance is going to never steer you wrong, ever. It never is going to steer you wrong. Never. It's going to show you exactly where you need to go and what you're supposed to learn.
That's right. And how you hone that is practice.
Yes.
It's consistency. It's asking the question, where am I on this? And wanting the answer.
Yes.
Because sometimes the answer may not be the one you really want, but you have to want the real answer. And the real answer is the way, right?
Yeah.
That's the way.
Yeah.
If you say, listen, when I figured out I was in love with Bert, I had a panic attack. And I was like, this is not for me. I am not marrying a comic. What am I doing here? I am out. I am getting out. This is, no. Guy's a slob. He's never going to make any money. I'm going to be working the rest of my life. I'm out. And then I called my close friend at the time. She came over and she listened to everything I said and she goes, honey, it's over. He's your guy. She let me get it all out and she went, it's over. He's your guy. You are so bored with every other guy you date. He's your guy. Now let's go see Finding Nemo. That's what we did. We went to the movies and she dropped me off after and she goes, feel better? And I went, yep. And I was like, well, okay. And that was in July. And in September, I was pregnant on the pill.
Oh, wow.
And I went, that's the way.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
I
Guess
mean,
that's my guy.
There are no accidents. There are no coincidences.
Well, yeah, I asked the question, is this my guy? The universe said he is. You're pregnant on the pill. Here's the answer to your question.
Yeah.
Now, I could have taken that answer and gone, no, maybe you didn't hear me right.
Exactly.
I don't want a baby either. I had no intention of ever having a baby. No, I didn't want to get pregnant. I didn't want to be a mom. I thought I had such a bad experience. I was like, I'm going to screw that one up from the beginning. I don't want to be a mom. This is not, but I didn't react that way. I considered that the answer to the question, is this my guy?
Yeah.
And God went, this is your path. Because then I went, okay, then this is the path, because I was actively trying to prevent that. It showed up anyway. That is clear.
Meant to be, man.
Crystal clear.
Yeah.
So then I will walk that path 110%.
Yeah.
Because I asked the question and I got the answer.
Yes,
so
you did.
that's the thing people I think miss is that you ask the question, and when the answer shows up, you have to accept that answer.
Yes.
So I just went through this with Bert. You know, he's very publicly talked about this blood clot he had in his leg, right? He had a blood clot in his leg. We went to the ER. The doctor got it all checked out, whatever. Doctor's like, you're on blood thinner 6 months, no alcohol. And he goes, whoa. Whoa. What does that mean? And he just starts negotiating back and forth, negotiating. And at one point she goes, what are we doing here? The question has been answered. And I think that's what the universe does, is the universe gives you a clear answer, but we don't always really want what they're saying. What's coming back to you may not be what you expected, what you're prepared for, what you wanted the answer to be. When you start making those choices that are against what that answer was, that's when you start having trouble.
Yes.
And that's when you lose yourself and your ability to ask and hear the answer. You may still ask the question, but you've gotten out of practice on hearing the answer and going in that direction.
That, and if you don't hear it or you're not listening to it, they're going to hit you harder over the head with something traumatic.
Yes.
You know,
It gets worse and worse.
It's going to get worse and worse. Yeah. And I know that it's work to tap into yourself. It's work to figure out who you are. It's work to press on the boundaries of what you've been taught and programmed your whole life as to what the nature of reality is. Or you're religious. I got lucky. I didn't have any religious programming. I probably wouldn't believe even half the shit I believe right now if I had to overcome the level of religious programming that one gets in a lot of ways, as they, many of us. It's funny. All of us seem to grow up in the only right religion. Mm-hmm.
Whichever one that one is.
Whichever one that was. We all grew up in, thank God I was brought up in the only right one.
We're the only ones going to heaven.
We're the only ones, you know.
I have so many debates with family members that were like, if you're not going to my church, not even my religion, my exact church, you're going to heaven. And I'm like, you're telling me somebody born in India.
Yes.
Who couldn't even possibly on a Sunday get to rural Georgia to get to your church is going to hell. And looked me in the face and said, yes.
It's true. There's a lot of religious programming. And at the end of the day, religion should be about love.
Yes.
At the end of the day, that's all that matters. There's all these rules and all these regulations, and there's elders and there's preachers and there's priests. And they're all telling you that you have to go through them in order to get to some sort of higher power.
No.
You need no one. You need no priest, no preacher, no elder, no church, nobody to figure out who you are. Figure that you are, God lives within you. You are a fractal of the divine. You are divine. Your soul is divine.
I agree.
You don't have to go to church.
No.
You are free to sit and look within, and everything you need to know is within.
Yes.
But it takes work. It's not easy.
It does.
It's, manifestation is real, but you need to work on your vibration. You can't just sit and pray one night or feel good for 10 minutes and expect the world to unfold for you. It is a daily practice. It is paying attention. It's saying affirmations. I speak words that are good intentions into this world, because speaking is spelling. You're casting a spell. You're manifesting. You are creating whatever you're thinking, feeling, saying, and whatever your intention or attention is going towards. That's what you're going to find in your reality.
That's right.
And I just think it's such a life hack in a way, because not only can it give you such a great comfort to know that you're never alone. You always have some sort of spiritual guides, something around protecting you, guiding you, if you're able to listen to them. And that if you just understand that most everything is frequency, vibration, and energy. It's all energy. We are all energy.
We are.
Everything is. Emotions are energy. It's all energy. And the sooner we get to learn to process our emotions, we're not taught how to deal with our emotions. People are overcome with their emotions. They're unable to even think about, instead of running away from pain, try leaning into pain. It's very weird, but if you lean into it and you resonate with it, you'll see it kind of start dissipating when you start really feeling your emotions, which a lot of people don't want to do.
Nope.
They don't want to have those feels. Good, bad, or ugly. They don't want to feel their emotions. But if you start really embracing your feelings, your thoughts, processing them, transmuting them, understanding them, loving yourself. I tell myself I love myself now. I never loved myself. I nitpick the shit out of myself and beat myself up on a regular basis. And now I do everything I can to hug myself, love myself, thank my body for taking care of me. Your whole system is a conscious being in itself. It's energetically taking care of you. It's conscious. Speak to your body, speak to everything, and send it love. It's like, I'm sure you've heard, you can speak to water and the cymatics of the water will change based on the intention that you're putting in, even into the water that you drink. That is how magical and crazy your attention, your words, your thoughts are. You can change the little formations of the water molecules by what you say.
Crazy.
That's nuts to me.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
It's nuts.
So
imagine what you could do with your own life.
Imagine what you could do, and rather than focus on the divisions, the ugliness, the everything that's going on in the world, if you focus on gratitude, on love, on forgiveness, you are going to see that show up in your reality. It's not going to happen overnight. No. It's a practice, gang.
Yes.
But unless you start taking control of your emotions and your vibration and who you are and sitting down and doing the work, you are not in charge of your own life. You are going to be led around by your emotions, reacting to whatever the hell comes into your path without acknowledging it, understanding it, or figuring out why that's happening to you. Instead of why me, it's like, what am I supposed to be learning right now? What does this starts? Why am I learning this? Not every thing that happens to you has to be such a huge deal. It could be a gift. Every traumatic experience, there's gifts in there.
There is.
There's gifts,
Yeah, you kind of have two choices, right?
Yes.
You have fear, or you have faith.
That's right. That's right.
Fear or faith.
That's the name of the episode. Fear or faith, motherfuckers.
It's the truth, motherfuckers. The thing is, how simple is that? If you just face everything in your life and say, what's my choice here?
Yep.
Is it fear or is it faith? And if you choose faith every time, then you're going to be on the right path.
Yep.
That's an easy question to answer. Is this fear? Am I making this choice out of fear, or am I making this choice out of faith?
Yep.
And that's an easy shortcut.
It's easy. And the other thing that and this might not be for everybody, but from what I understand, talking to my near-death experiencers and whatnot, Nobody dies until they're supposed to.
Oh,
Nobody.
I believe that.
Nobody
I have
dies.
no fear of death.
Nobody dies until they're supposed to.
I 100% agree. But that's also faith.
Yeah.
That's not fear.
Yeah.
That's faith.
Yeah.
I say Bert's so scared to death. And I'm like, dude, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
When it's your time, it's your time. What are we worried about?
Yeah.
Let's just be here today and believe when it's your time, you will go. And guess what? Death and taxes. Only two things for sure. So you're going at some point.
You're not going to die, bro. You're going to pop out of your meat bag. You're going to look around and be like, I don't know what I was so scared of. And then like a light's going to appear and like, I don't know.
And then he'll go,
Uncle Jack. Yeah. Bird's here. Woo! Bird will be like, what? You know, like forget that life.
This is where the party was?
Yeah, exactly. What have I been
I can drink all I want here? I love it.
They say you remember when you die. Like we all come down here with amnesia. We don't know who we are, you know, from the first like 7 years. You know, every little kid has like that little, you know, their friend that's invisible, that magic friends or whatever. You know, when we first get here.
Mine was a chicken. Does that say anything about me? I had an imaginary chicken.
Conscious, you know. Yes, they could appear anyway. But like when children are younger and they've newly to this plane, they still have a lot of that spiritual recall in them. And as you get older, they lose it. But like we really do. We come down here with amnesia. We don't know who we are. We've been here many, many times. We are eternal. Death is a transition, and there is absolutely nothing to fear. There's just nothing to fear when it really comes down to it.
I agree.
And if you fear something, you're going to pull it into you. You fear cancer, you're going to pull it into you. Yeah. You fear you're going to hit by a car, you're going to pull that shit into you. So focus on good and love yourself and love your fallible, you know, maybe you don't agree with neighbor. Like, love them anyways because they're on their own journey. They're perceiving their own reality in whatever way that they're perceiving it. And we all come down here with built-in archetypes, a built-in way to be. We are the stars, your birth. Go get your birth chart, John. That's the other thing that I suggest people do. You want to figure out what you're good at, where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to learn. Go to an astrologist and get your birth chart done. And they will really tell you where you're at, what direction you're supposed to be going, what if your moon is in this sign and this in your house. Like they'll be able to tell you an arc of your journey that you should follow. We all have a blueprint for what we're supposed to be accomplishing here. And there's people here that can help guide you through your life. Right. Figure out what you're supposed to be good at. Figure out your calling. You know, all of these things are available to us. But yet again, we go back to we're just distracted by bullshit and programmed to feel like we are limitless, helpless, looking to others constantly, giving our power away. Take your power back. Take control of your life. Take your power back. You're powerful, man.
Be curious. Read some books.
Read some books.
Read some books. Yes. See an astrologer. Get your cards read. Go see a medium.
Yes. If I could go fun. I went from atheist to full on, like I am in the way down the rabbit hole of what I believe now. It's completely transformed everything.
How cool is that?
It's kind of crazy.
Well, I don't think it's crazy. I think it's very cool because what kind of, it speaks to the type of person you are to make an 180-degree change, to be open enough to do that. Most people are not open enough to make that kind of change and to own it so publicly. To say, I was this and now I am that and this is why and how. That's a very brave, wise thing, faithful thing to do, right?
Yeah.
So kudos.
I mean, you know, I'm coming up on 2 years on the Fate podcast. I have taken a step away from the show since December, since that magical night of the winter solstice. I haven't touched my podcast. I haven't done anything. I've been in like a period of like, what? But I'm coming back. I'm going to start season 3 in February.
Amazing. I'm
going to start taking all the knowledge that I have gained the last couple of years just from voraciously reading. I must have read three books a month on my show. I'm constantly reading. And now I'm going to start just talking about what I've learned. I'm going to have even better guests on. I'm going to start like maybe even asking people to be on my show. I've never asked anybody really to be on my show yet. I asked a couple of TikTokers. They haven't even aired yet. But like for the most part, I've just been fielding whatever comes into me. And then I I pick and choose and whatever. I've built a really great little platform, lots of knowledge
I
on
love
there.
it.
It's great. But I think season 3 is going to be even more expansive. And I'm going to talk a lot more about my own personal journey because I really just talk about topics and I don't really talk about me. But there's so many gifts that have been given in my life to me through my spiritual awakening that I feel it could be helpful to tell that story too. Like, this is what I have experienced, my loss of fear, my ability to stay in the present moment, my ability to be less judging. There's just so many gifts that you can get, but you got to do the work.
Mm-hmm.
You got to want to do the work. And honestly, if I was totally honest, there's no way in hell I would have changed my belief system had I not had to go through what I went through. I personally had to go through the pit of despair, the dark night of the soul, to make this transformation.
Right.
Because that's who I was.
Yeah.
I had to get hit hard in the face, and I did, bad. Not everybody maybe has to do that. Maybe just the act of being curious enough to figure out who you are and to understand that everything that you've been taught, there's more than what we've been taught. I don't think that we really know our true history in this world. I don't think we really truly know the parameters with which we're swimming in. And I think it's for a reason.
Yeah.
And I don't want to go down the conspiracy rabbit hole on this show, but there's just so much that we're not aware of, and you have to seek knowledge.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to find you.
No.
You got to get out there and seek it and want to know. Some people are perfectly happy in their lives doing their thing, and that's fine too.
Yeah, totally.
That's fine
We're
too.
all different.
Yeah.
When did you write this book?
Oh, I wrote it during COVID when the world shut down.
You did?
I did. I wrote.
Tell me about this book you wrote. I have a copy myself.
Okay. So I wrote Mr. Pickles and Maggie, A Tale of True Friendship. Back when the world shut down.
Yeah.
I feel like there's before COVID and after COVID in a lot of people's lives.
Yeah.
And I watched the most beautiful relationship between Maggie and Mr. Pickles. I got them on the same day, and they spent most of their time just curled up together and loving each other, and they played, and they were amazing. And then a couple of years in, Mr. Pickles got sick with polyarthritic legs and both of his front legs.
Aww.
So he had to get fitted for braces on his legs.
Little
and
guy.
It was really hard for him because he was like an energetic ball of goody love, and it really hurt. It hurt everybody. But Maggie, my friend Maggie, was
so cute.
It was so beautiful to watch Maggie help Mr. Pickles walk again. She was there for him. She would sit with him. She would be right next to him when he was like, look at this picture. Look.
Oh,
I mean,
so cute.
And Mr. Pickles was such a light, and I would love to keep his memory alive. So I wrote a book about their friendship and about how important it is when you're going through tough times to have a friend.
Yeah.
And also about stick-to-itiveness, overcoming obstacles in your life. Mr. Pickles had to have braces put on his legs to walk. And at first he was not good at it at all. And he didn't want to get out and walk or do anything. But with Maggie's help, she kind of got him to get back on his feet and walk. And she never left his side the entire time that he was around. But I illustrated this book with all of my own photographs of
so cute
of them. And basically it's just a story about friendship, man. And I want to keep Mr. Pickles' memory alive.
Mr. Pickles.
And, if anybody out there wants to take a little piece of Maggie home, this is a great way to get a piece of Maggie, because she is just a delight.
She's so cute.
She's a light in itself.
So can you buy the book?
I can, yes, you can get it on Amazon. And if you know animal lovers, anybody who has a new baby coming to town, a best friend, anybody with disabilities, it's such a little inspirational tale. It's true. It's illustrated with my photos. And you'd be helping an out-of-work film worker as well. You know, I could really use a little boost in the old book sales. But I'm proud of this book.
Yeah.
This is something that also came to me intuitively. I never thought about writing a book, never interested me. Certainly not a children's book since I don't even have kids,
right?
You know? But Mr. Pickles and Maggie touched me in ways I can't explain. To watch them over the years, there's no doubt in my mind that animals are conscious, that they love, that they have the same emotional makeup that we do.
Yes, of course.
That they have pain, joy, family bonds, the whole 9 yards. And to watch their relationship and how Maggie really supported Mr. Pickles when he was sick after spending endless summers running around the backyard together. It was just, I had to write about it. And so I just wrote their story and how beautiful it was and how Maggie just was Mr. Pickles' very best friend till the very end.
That's so sweet.
Pick it up, guys. It will make you smile. And it's a great little inspirational story, you know?
And Maggie's the cutest thing ever.
Maggie, I don't know anything better I don't know many things in the world that are better than Maggie.
No.
Maggie is a one of a kind. She loves everybody. She's just a light in this world.
She's a little angel on earth.
She's a light. There will never be another Maggie.
No, there will not. Well, I'm so glad we did this today.
LeeAnn, I cannot thank you enough. Like, I enjoy, you and Bert both are amazing, but like, I really enjoy you so much. I feel like we're so much alike. We are the same. We have a lot of the, you remind me of my Southern, you know, you're a Southern woman. Like I said, you know, I feel that in you, you know, so I don't know. I just love you. I'm really glad that, that I came today and we talked about spirituality. And I think tomorrow the premiere?
Is tomorrow Thursday? No, 2 days.
Is it Tuesday? Is it Thursday?
Thursday, the 22nd.
It's the 22nd.
It's the premiere, yes.
Okay, you got the premiere coming up and hopefully we'll be back in Atlanta this summer.
Let's hope so.
I mean,
well, my sentiment goes to you as well. I really enjoyed our time in Atlanta, although we were really busy.
Yes.
There was not a lot of social time.
Yes.
But I liked you from the start, from the very beginning.
Same, like energy, man. That's energy.
That's it. It's energy, yes. And then there's Maggie. I mean, let's be honest. But from the start, Busby, I liked you immediately. And the little time we did get to spend together, I just thoroughly enjoyed. I enjoyed every minute of it.
Hopefully this is just the beginning of a burgeoning friendship, my friend. Like, I'm just up the street from you. Let's go to dinner and I'll bring Maggie over and,
Love it. And Maggie might get eaten by my 2 dogs, but we could bring her over. Just keep her in your pouch until everybody's settled down.
I'll keep her in the pouch.
They wouldn't eat her because they were used to Mona, but they might step on her.
All right. Well, we'll have to be careful, won't we, Maggie?
Maggie?
You little sweet thing. I love you.
So good to see you. Thank you for today.
Thank you, LeeAnn.
Fun.
Don't forget to buy the book, kids. Help a filmmaker and, keep Mr. Pickles' memory alive.